Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. Give you guys a few minutes to get in here. I get this adjusted here. If you're new to the channel, thank you for showing up. What's up, Aaron? You still blocked from the other account? Let me double check this. All right, we're gonna get started in about 3 or so minutes. Oh, settings. All right. I don't know where it's at. Let's see. Community. Oh, there we go. All right. Aaron, I hope it, man. Hey, Aaron, I don't know what you're doing, man, but you got to stop doing it because I see a lot of your accounts in here, Aaron, and I'm not sure what you're doing, but you got to stop. Okay. Not sure what's going on with that, sir. I see. All right, so you gotta chill on what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, man, because I don't watch people like that. But you got yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. You do have to stop commenting in caps. I don't know why you do that, but you gotta stop doing that. Okay, it's not hard to do. But I just cleared you, so all right. I unblocked all of your accounts because you had 2 of them in there, besides the one you're in right now. 1 second, I got to turn some air on. 1 second here. All right, I'm back. 17,000 steps, huh? You must have one of those step counters or something, huh? I'm retired. You see, all I drink is water. That's all I drink. When it comes to my health, I just do the things that make sense, right? I just look at, they say, hey, the body is 60% water. So I guess I better start. I guess I better start drinking water, like not pop, because I see some people. There's some people out there will straight up say, "I hate water." You know what they're really saying? I'm addicted to sugar. That's what they're really saying. People don't know they're saying that. When you say that you hate the very thing that keeps you alive, yeah, you're addicted to sugar. If you're saying such things like that. Gotcha. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is where slaves live. Now, there's 2 kinds of slaves. There's unconscious slaves, and there's conscious slaves. Now, listen closely. Unconscious slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. Okay, they don't know it. I know that's weird. 1 second, let me raise this mic just a little bit. I really am going to get me a different mic anyway. They don't know they don't trust math, and conscious slaves were once unconscious, woke up, found SMD, woke up, and now they believe in mathematics. Now they're free. To escape the debt matrix, all you got to do is just believe your calculator. Believe when you put the numbers in your calculator, all you got to do is believe it. If you're unconscious, here, let me give an example. Open up your calculator app, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and hit equal. Once you hit equal, all you got to do is believe it. If you believe it, you'll escape the debt matrix. If you don't believe it, you will continue living the American dream for the rest of your life. If you believe it takes 30 years to pay off one house, if you believe it takes 30 years to pay off a house they built in 30 days, you are dreaming. You are living the American dream, right? That's cool. I mean, whatever, because without you, without unconscious slaves, the economy could not exist. It could not exist if you didn't finance cars, houses, believe you need credit cards for emergencies, you need a credit card to go on vacation. All of those things are important to the economy. That was me up until the age 40, right? I was a successful engineer making six figures, whatever successful means in the debt matrix. What that means is a good job, making six figures, college educated, blockety, blah, 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 all that belongs in the debt matrix. If I'm making $160,000 a year, I'm considered the middle class. But what unconscious slaves do not know is that economic classes don't exist. Lower class, middle class, upper class, they don't even exist. That framework, that lives in the debt matrix. That's where people live that believe in stuff like that. There's only two kinds of classes, the debt class and the non-debt class. If you don't understand, this is what I mean. If you have a Credit Karma account, log into your Credit Karma account. As soon as you log in, there's going to be a big number that's going to pop up in your face. Put a negative sign in front of it. That's your net worth. You belong in the debt class, okay? The people inside of that credit report, those are your owners. Those are the people that own you because you owe that money to them. That's it. Credit reports are not special. Credit scores are not special. If you have a high credit score, you just pay back the bank's money on time. You are a high valued slave. If you have a low credit score, you are a low value slave. If you have a 700 credit score, which is considered the middle, whatever the banks came up with, you are a middle value slave, but you're still slaves. It doesn't matter. Okay. What's up, Omanike? Now, if you want to ever own yourself, now if you're in the negative, you don't own yourself. Okay. This is what I do. I help people own themselves. I got out of the debt matrix and I'm trying to help you do it too. And I do it with simple mathematics, simple arithmetic. Excuse me. Let me take a step back. Let me make it even more simple. Arithmetic, simple arithmetic will help you escape the matrix. How do you escape the matrix? All you have to do is believe your calculator and you'll be free. That's it. That's it. You own yourself. But if you add up your savings and add up your debt, savings minus debt equals equals your net worth. That's how much you're worth. That's how much money you have to buy anything. Now, I know here's the glitch in the debt matrix. If that large negative number is my net worth, how am I living in this house? How am I driving that car? Exactly. How are you doing it? You're not. That's the bank's house. If you needed a loan to get the car, that's the bank's car. If you needed a mortgage to get the house, that's the bank's house. That's not yours. None of it's yours. You're living in the debt matrix because if you believe you own everything you're making payments on, you live in the debt matrix. That's why you're making payments. If you believe, say you live next to a person, you have a mortgage and the person next to you doesn't. If you believe the value and you guys' houses are exactly the same, and you look up on Zillow and Zillow says you guys' houses are both worth the same price, why do you believe the value of the house is the same for you as it is for the person that doesn't have a mortgage? That's not true. You're living the American dream. You're not the same as a person that doesn't have a mortgage. You are the asset. Two people living together, one with a mortgage, one without a mortgage. The house is the asset to the owner. So if the person next to you owns his house, no mortgage, it's an asset to him. If you have a mortgage on your house, you are the asset. The house is just a standing building. If you have a mortgage, you are an asset to the bank. Do you understand? Only an unconscious slave would promise 30 years of future payments, money that you haven't even made yet. You haven't even used the time in your life, because you got to use the time in your life to earn the money. You haven't even earned it yet, and you already promised it to the bank for the next 30 years. Only unconscious slaves do that. Do you understand? I hope so. Here's the place that you're going to learn to be free. This is how you own yourself. I will help you step outside the debt matrix to own yourself, because if you don't own you, you can't own anything outside of you. That's, according to the laws of mathematics, that's 100% impossible. You cannot own anything outside of yourself if you don't own yourself. If your student loans are older than every other thing in your life, every other debt in your life, you don't own you. You cannot. Having a student loan debt older than your mortgage doesn't make sense. CENTS, that doesn't make sense. If you want to stop living like that, you want to own you. That's what SMD does. SMD helps you own you. If you have had debt all your life, you've never owned yourself. You've never owned yourself. If you want to own yourself, this is the place to do it. I can help you own yourself. I own me. I own me. If you have a mortgage, you don't own yourself. If you want to stop living in the debt matrix, believing that you can save for retirement with a mortgage. No, you can't. You can't save for retirement with a mortgage. Hey, put away 15% for retirement. I know you hear that all the time. Put away 15% for retirement. You hear that everywhere. Says who? This is what you do if you have a mortgage. Open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance equals how much money how much money you have to put away for retirement. So whatever that number is, take 15% of that number and put that away for retirement. Try to do it. You can't. That's impossible. But if you don't want to believe it, that's totally up to you. Because without you believing that it takes 30 years to pay off a house, that you can put away money for retirement from negative dollars, that's important to the housing market. That's important. That's important for the community. That's important that you believe that you can invest in cryptocurrency with that number. That's how much money, mortgage payment minus mortgage balance equals how much money you can put away for retirement, how much money you can invest in Dogecoin, how much money you can invest in Bitcoin, whatever you think, gold, silver, it doesn't matter. That's how much money you have to put away to invest in anything. Now you're probably thinking that's the glitch. How can I invest in anything if that's a large negative number? Exactly. You can't. But that's important to the economy, because without you believing that, the economy couldn't exist. The housing market couldn't exist. Car lots couldn't exist. Retirement plans, they couldn't exist without you believing that you can invest in something with negative dollars. That's impossible. Now you go to all these places giving you financial advice. You got to stop and ask yourself, who's giving you that financial advice? A slave? Only people with mortgages. Listen closely. Only people with mortgages suggest others to get them. If you come across a person that with no mortgage, if I had a house with no mortgage, I would not suggest that you get a mortgage. That doesn't make any sense. CENTS. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't. Or here's another one. If you come across a financial advisor person that suggests that you invest instead of paying off your student loans, say, hey, they always say the same program. This is a program. So you unconscious slaves can understand. This is a program. Hey, invest over here. You'll make this certain percentage rate because the student loan percentage rate is this much, and you'll make this much over here with this investment. Then you could take the money that you earn over here and pay off this. They all say that. That's a program. They don't know what they're saying. You can't do that. You cannot invest in anything if you have student loan debt. That's 100% impossible according to the laws of mathematics. You can't do that. So when you hear somebody say that, they're obviously a slave because you can't do that. Why would they're telling you something that's not mathematically true. That's impossible. There's different ways to, financial freedom is not having millions of dollars. Financial freedom is getting to zero. You must first own yourself. You must first own you. You must, this is one thing that people really can't tell. The unconscious slaves cannot see zero. I know that sounds weird. You're probably thinking, what do you mean can't see zero? You don't believe me? Go ask an unconscious slave to count to 10. Hell, why don't you count to 10? You probably think that's a weird question. What do you mean count to 10? You think I'm stupid? No, count to 10. And then when they count 1 through 10, you got to stop an unconscious slave and say, what about zero? Why'd you skip zero? This is where the glitch is going to come in. Oh man, yeah, zero's there, man. I just didn't. You didn't what? What didn't you do? What? Tell me. Finish your sentence. What didn't you do? What? The reason why unconscious slaves skip zero, because they don't see it, and if they don't see zero, they don't see negative numbers either. Do you get it? They don't see negative numbers. And if they don't see negative numbers, that's why they believe they own a house that they financed for 30 years. This is why slaves believe they own the equity in a house that they didn't even have the money to buy. That makes absolutely no sense for them. It makes all kind of sense, CENTS for the bank. Believe that, many cents. That makes sense to you? Not to me. What's up, E-Man? Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Now, if you want to be free and to get out of debt free right now, today's the day. Today's the day. Now, there's many different ways to get free, okay? I can talk to you how to reduce your phone bill, how to reduce your car insurance, everything. But you got to own your car. Okay. You have to own your car. You can't. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword, but here's the link. You guys got any questions? Today's the day to find, maybe you didn't know you're a slave. Maybe that. People, it's so funny, and I enjoy it. I'm glad that I came up with the slave thing, because everywhere I go, that's the first thing people say on other channel. Oh, you want to be a slave? It's like, okay, it's working. The word slave gets people attention. Who's he calling slave? I don't know. Am I talking to you? That's totally up to you. Because if somebody called me a slave, I would just look around and say, who are you talking to? I don't know who you're talking to. I'm not a slave. Are you? Maybe you're tired of being one. Maybe you're tired of, what's up, Scout? Maybe you're tired of listening to the same old everyday debt stories, bill collector. You tired of bill collectors chasing you down? You tired of it? You don't have to live like that. Stress is optional. You can remove all stress from your life, all of it. You can remove it. How do I know this? I did it. I'm doing it. I do it every day. I don't allow stress in my life. That's optional. You want that to stop? Let me know. Hey, man, I can help anybody. I can give you the mathematical answer. Personal finances only. Are you out there investing in cryptocurrency with PPP money? You know what PPP stands? PPP stands for you. Prison Protection Program. That's what it stands for you. You're probably thinking, no, that's the paycheck protection. But no, not if you do it fraudulently. That's called the prison protection program for you. I've been getting on this lately about this PPP program. PPP fraud, not PPP program, PPP fraud. Why do you think it's so easy to get? Why do you think you can just make up a company and get $20, $80, $100, $250,000 like it's nothing? They're buying you. Do you understand? That's why it's so easy to get. They're buying you. It's no different than student loan debt. How come you can go get a student loan and take up any class, basket weaving, underwater, polo dancing, and you could spend all the money you want? You can get all the money you want from student loans to spend it on any type of schooling you wish. They don't even care if you spend it on schooling or not. They don't care because they're buying you. What's up, Nicer? Yes, they must be willing to do the work. You're right, Omanike. Do you understand they're buying you? Do you realize SMD goes so much deeper than personal finances? Do you realize that? Let me show you something. I'm gonna bring up something here real quick so you guys can oh, I forgot my keyboard. Crap. 1 second, you guys. 1 second here. All right, I'm back. 1 second here. Oh, wait. How much to make currency? U.S. currency. All right, I'm going to bring up this thing so you guys can see this because I really want you to see it. I really want you to see this. Okay. Let me share this. Share screen, Chrome tab. All right, let me show you something here. All right. You see this right here? I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm bringing it up. It costs 14 cents to make $100 bill. 14 cents. To make a $1 and $2 bill costs 6.2 cents. $5 10.8. $10 is 10.8. Two bills that cost the same to make. $20 costs 11.2 cents, and it costs less. It costs 11 cents to make a $50 bill. But let's stick on the 14 cents for a $100 bill for a second, okay? What's up, Snuggles? What's up, Mosman? 14 cents to make a $100 bill. So if you have a $100 bill in your hand, it's really 14 cents. They're telling you right here on the website, it's 14 cents. It's not really 100. But if you believe it's 100, it's 100. So imagine, and imagine you're out there selling illegal drugs. What are you doing it for? For money. What are you risking? The time in your life where there is no dollar amount that you can put on the time in your life. There is no dollar amount unless you get a job. Then that's when it becomes a dollar amount. You get a job and you say, hey, I accept making $10 an hour. Okay, now you put a price on the time in your life. But if you're out there risking selling illegal drugs, you're risking way more for things. So say like you went out there, you sold some drugs and you made $1,000. Well, if you say 14 cents, times 1,000, that will give you the real amount that you're making. If I did that calculation right, 14 cents times there's 10 100s and 10 100s and $1,000. So 14 times 10 will give you how much money you're really risking the time in your life for. It's not much. Not much at all. Good luck. Only a person would risk the time in their life for green pieces of paper. You don't realize, you don't see that when you're in debt. When you get out of debt, you're like, oh crap, nope, ain't doing none of that. Snuggle says, I'm proud of you. I can't wait to see the collab together. This would be very good. Oh yeah, that's going to be cool, man. She is talking about what's his last name? Riley Bernard. I was over on his channel today. I think he's still live now as we speak. You did it. So if I make $100,000 a year, I'm only getting paid $1,400 a year. It counts on how many hundreds are in 100,000, right? And then you go 0.14 times how many hundreds are in 1,000. That's how much money you're making a year gross. And then you got to take taxes out of that. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's on there with Ike. They've been at it for quite a long time. They've been on it for a while. Seeing that they use in the cent value of money, I wonder if the cent is worth more than the bill itself. I don't know. That's a good question. Very good question. Very good question. I know, but man, once you get out of debt, you will still look at it for what it is. What's crazy? That's what it is. They're telling you right there in the open. It cost us 14 cents to make $100 bill. If you believe it's worth 100, that's on you. If you risk the time in your life, if you go to prison, if you risk prison, selling illegal drugs for paper money, only slaves do that. When you really see how much it costs to make, you're going to think twice. You're going to be like, "Ooh, jeez. That's zero. Let me see. What's 0.14? There's 10 100s and 1,000. So what's 0.14 times 10? What's that add up to? Now, if you want this, if you want some knowledge that you're not going to hear on any other channel on YouTube, that's backed up by mathematics, one that will be proven to be 100% true, this is the place. $1.40. So if you out there risking buying illegal drugs to make $1,000 or selling illegal drugs, right? You're selling them and you're getting out there to make, let's say, $1,000. You're really risking the time in your life for $1.40. $1.40. Imagine waking up in prison, realizing how much it costs to make money, and you're in there because of it. Oh, was it $140? No, 14 cents. That's got to be $1.40. Let's see. Let's make sure, because I like to be right. $0.10. $1.40. $1.40. $1.40. So if you're holding $1,000 in your hand cash, if you're holding $1,000 in your hand cash, you're really holding $1.40. You think I would have saw that? No. All I had to do was go to the website and go to the government website and say, hey, how much it costs to make money? Right here. It says right here. Look, right there. And I'm just picking the highest one. What's up, John? I only stayed on there for a little while. I was just messing around over there. There's certain subject that I like being involved in, and some I just don't. I mean, it's like when I hear people talk about other people outside of themselves, I just like, why do they do that? I don't get it. Because nobody outside of me knows better than me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess, it's like when I hear people talk about, like when I hear people have this particular image about women. The reason why the majority of men that have this image about women get those type of women, because it's in their brain that the women are like that. So they send out that type of vibration to attract those type of women. I don't attract those type of women. I just don't. I never have. That just doesn't happen to me. My bad. I did it times 1,000. I figured that. It's not a big deal. No, you gotta, I know why you did it. It's like, you got to say how many $100 bills are in $1,000, right? And that's just 10, right? And then you go, since there's 10 100s, then you time 14 cents times 10 will give you $1.40. $1.40. When I think back when I was in my 20s, I can't believe some of the chances I took for worthless pieces of paper. Absolutely worthless. But if you live here in the United States, you know what they say? This is the currency you use when you're here, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Oh, yeah, you can make up all kind of cryptocurrency that you want. You can make up 50,000 of them because it doesn't exist. But as soon as you try to think you're going to make your own U.S. currency, oh, you will get spanked. If you do this is what's crazy about unconscious slaves, but they don't understand. If you believe cryptocurrency is going to take over, remove paper money, why don't you just skip the whole cryptocurrency? Why don't you just start printing your own paper money? Why don't you just do that? Because that's not allowed, slave. You will get spanked for that. You know that. I know that. Anything, when you look at financial, okay, this is what I want you guys to understand something. When you guys look at anything financial, if you can go to prison for a long time, there's something there that you can't see. If you, for example, if you go and try to copy US currency, you will go to prison. You got to stop and think, hey, I'm not killing nobody. I'm not hurting anybody by doing it. That doesn't matter, slave. You're doing something that could hurt the economy. They can't have that. Another one, tax evasion. You can go to prison for not paying your taxes. What's wrong? You didn't kill nobody. What? Because there's something important that you can't see. Here, let me tell you the real reason why you can go to prison for tax evasion. Taxes are the backbone of our economy. If they didn't force you to participate, the economy would crash, slaves. Do you understand? This is if they said, hey, you know what? We're going to let you pay your taxes on your own. You think slaves will pay their taxes? No, you guys wouldn't. You guys wouldn't pay it. That's why they take your money before you get your check. That's why they take it, slaves. Because if they didn't take it before you got your checks, you wouldn't pay it. That's why you can go to prison. Once you get out of debt, you'll say, oh, that's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. Yep, right there. See? And then you won't be doing none of that shit. You won't be hiding money, pretending that you didn't earn money here, fake lie on your income tax return. Because as soon as you lie on your income tax return and hit enter, you broke the law. Doesn't matter. Hey, I didn't know. What? You didn't know math? Because that's what you're saying. Oh, I'm not really that good at math. They already know. That's why they're knocking on your door, because they know you're not good at math. Nobody breaks the laws of mathematics. Nobody. You want to stop being a slave? Right here. Right here. You want to stop wandering around or wondering which cryptocurrency to buy? Cryptocurrency doesn't exist, slave. It counts on who you're talking to. Here, let me give you guys, you novice people that don't really understand what am I saying that cryptocurrency doesn't exist. Anybody telling you to invest in cryptocurrency, let's use Bitcoin, for example. Anybody telling you, suggesting that you invest in cryptocurrency, this is what I want you to ask them. Hey, person, do you have a whole Bitcoin or do you have a piece of a Bitcoin? If they have a piece of a Bitcoin, that's called a Bitcoin crumb. Slaves get the crumbs. If they didn't break Bitcoin up, if they didn't break cryptocurrency up in pieces, slaves couldn't play. You think slaves have $50,000 to invest in Bitcoin? They don't have no money. Slaves don't have no money. So they break it up in pieces, slave, because if they didn't break it up in pieces, you guys couldn't play. And then they come up with these wallets and all this, the encrypted blockchain to convince you guys that it's some kind of secure something. The banks invented cryptocurrency, you slaves. Do you understand? You guys will believe anything. You will believe anything. It's totally unregulated. There's no rules. There's nobody to call if you lose your money. Are you insane, slave? You think you can invest in cryptocurrency with student loans older than your children? You are the Bitcoin slave. You. So if anybody asking you to invest in Bitcoin, you better ask them, do you have a whole Bitcoin? If they have a piece of Bitcoin, they're slaves just like you. You have a whole coin, whatever they're investing in, whatever it is. Do you have a whole coin? No, shut up, slave. I don't listen to slaves. That'll be your attitude. And it's not, when you get to this level, it's not that I dislike slaves. You guys are needed. We need you. The economy could not exist without you. CarMax couldn't exist without you. Apple couldn't exist without you, slaves. Amazon, Walmart, all the big companies, they could not exist without you. Unconscious consumers. Is that you? Driving around on leased cars, thinking you save lease. Is this you leasing a Tesla, believing you're saving money on gas? No, you're not, slave. You can't save money. You can't save money with a car you didn't even have the money to buy. That's impossible, slave. If you're leasing a Tesla, that means you couldn't buy it, but yet you think you're saving money on gas and you're making payments. Don't say that shit out loud. Don't say shit like that out loud. Go look on YouTube. Listen. Go look on YouTube and look at all the thousands of videos of people talking about the money that they're saving on gas. I went to 2 or 3 people that were giving reviews on Teslas, and they start talking about the economy savings that they're saving money on gas and blah blah blah. You know the question I asked them? Did you pay cash for that Tesla? They all come back. No, I'm leasing it because I want to upgrade. Then what the fuck are you talking about? You saving money on gas? I didn't say that part. I'm just saying that in my mind. To them, I just type okay. But they're giving out advice on how much money they're saving without paying for gas. No, they're not. They're not saving money. Because if you didn't even have the money to buy the car, guess what else you didn't have the money for? You didn't have the money for the taxes. So not only are you financing the price of the car, slave, you're financing the taxes too, at an interest rate, slaves. And then you think you're saving money on gas. Are you insane? You got to be financially insane if you think that. You're financing taxes. When you go to the Tesla website and see how much it costs to buy a certain model Tesla, they're not talking to you, slave. They're talking to people who pay cash. When you see the price of a car and you go through the thing, I want this, red, tires, blah, 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 and then Tesla quotes you a price, they're not talking to you if you're financing the car. They're not talking to you. That's the price for cash buyers. When you finance it for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you flip to the back of that paperwork. That's the sale price for you, slave. You. The price of a car is not the same for everyone. That's not the same for everyone. If you have student loans and you finance the Tesla, you didn't get nowhere near the price of that Tesla. Whatever Tesla you bought, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You are a slave. You're not saving money on anything. I mean, these videos are rampant too. They're just all over the place. I just type, hey man, did you pay cash? Nope. Nobody responded with paying cash for a Tesla. None, zero. Oh, I'm leasing. I want to upgrade every year. They want to stay in that loop. That's the wheel. That's the rat wheel. People that upgrade their cars every year, that's the wheel. Slaves know that they're the hamster. They know they're the hamster in the wheel. All slaves know that they are the hamster. They have no idea what the wheel is made of. They just told you they want to upgrade phones every year. That's the wheel. That's what powers the wheel. They want to upgrade their car every year. That's the wheel. What they don't understand is that's a loop. The people that you may know that upgrade their cars every 2 to 3 years, they're trapped. I know it looks like they have money. No, they don't. They can't get out because they have no money to buy their way, because they would have to buy their way out. Most of those people you see are upside down in their cars, meaning they owe more on the car than what it's worth. Once you owe more on the car is what it's worth. If you have gap, put it this way, if you have gap insurance, and those of you guys that listen, if you hear any, because slaves don't know what gap insurance is for. Gap insurance is for slaves. If they mention, this is how you can tell if the person talking to you is a slave. If they have a nice car, you say, do you have gap insurance? If they say yes, they're a slave. They don't know that they just told you they're a slave, because they don't know gap insurance is only for slaves. If you find out somebody just bought a house, you say, what type of mortgage do you have? If they say FHA mortgages, FHA mortgages are for slaves. They just told you they're a slave without telling you that they're a slave, because only slaves get FHA mortgages. Any subprime mortgage. Do you want to stop being a slave? You want to stop doing stuff like that? Right here. This is where you're SavingsMinusDebt.com. Schedule your consultation. There, let me put this website up here. There you go. Right there at the bottom. You want to ask a question right here? Ask a question, man. I'm telling you, ask a question. I'm here. I know it seems like I'm hard, but once you cross over, you'll clearly see that I'm not being hard. I'm just being mathematical. That's it. If a person hears this video or hear these videos and you don't believe in mathematics, that's your problem. That's not my problem. That's your problem. If you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, that is your problem. I bet you they are, Omanike. They're going to bring back everything. If you're in debt and you don't know how much debt you're in, don't worry about what ARM is. Don't worry about percentage rates. Don't worry about anything, because you don't even own you. There is no way you can understand anything anything financial if you don't even know how much debt you're in. That's step one. If you haven't taken the time to find out how much debt you are in, if you don't know down to the penny of how much debt you're in, don't worry about what's going on in the financial world. Don't worry about Dogecoin. Don't worry about any type of cryptocurrency. Don't worry about insurance policies that pay you back and you get a loan from. Don't worry about any of that, because it has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You want to live a life like like millions of people don't even know exist? What I talk about, millions of people don't even know this life exists. They don't even know. Trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt. Trillions. That's millions of people. Listen, that's millions of people that believe they're homeowners. They don't know they're not homeowners. They have no idea that they're not homeowners. Trillions of dollars in a car loan debt. Trillions with a T. All those, that's millions of people. They have no idea they own nothing. All those people are driving the bank's car. They have no idea that they own nothing. They don't own anything. Trillions in credit card debt with a T. Trillions. Slaves out there bragging about credit card limits. What you bragging about the bank's money, slave? Because they don't know that they're doing that. All these slaves bragging about their credit score. Who cares about your credit score? That's just a point. Those are points that they reward you for staying in debt. Those are reward points for staying in debt. You think credit scores are free? They're not free. You know how badly they're taking advantage of your fear in this time right now? Look at all these secure debit cards coming out. If you need a secure debit card, I'm going to say that one more time. If you need a secure debit card, you are in serious financial trouble. Serious. What's sad is by the time most paid off their home, they got to sell it to pay for their healthcare costs. Sure do. Can you imagine? That's some amazing shit, man. The banks convinced unconscious slaves that they are homeowners with no money of their own. Because the only way to buy a home is with your own money, slaves. That's the only way. There is no other way to buy a home. But yet slaves are talking about they're buying homes with mortgages. No, you're not slave. You ain't buying nothing. Most slaves have no idea the bank doesn't even have to be in your life. You're choosing the bank to be in your life. You don't have, the bank doesn't have to be part of your life. Who says who? Slaves. They talk about the bank all the time. Oh, these guys are just ripping us off. They're just taking advantage of it. That's true. They're taking advantage of you. That is true. They're taking advantage of the fact that you don't trust the laws of mathematics when it comes to your money. It's true. The banks are not doing anything to anybody. Title loan places, pawn shops, payday loan place, payday advance loan places. Have you noticed how many are coming out? Hey, we can get your check to you 2 days before your check. If you need your money, you're not even lasting paycheck to paycheck. Because they always say paycheck to paycheck. If you're taking advances on your paycheck, you're not even making it to paycheck. What do they call that? If you're not even making it paycheck to paycheck, what do they call that? That's worse. You want this to stop? I can create the blueprint for you. See SavingsMinusDebt.com. Sign up for a consultation. Don't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. The younger you are, the better, because you have time on your side. Let me just put that right down. The younger you are, you come see me. The younger you are, the better it will be, because time is on your side. People my age, it can still be done. You're gonna have a strong mental. You're gonna have to be strong mentally, because I'm 51. And if you wake up at 51 and really understand what it's like to have student loans at this age, you graduated back in your 20s and you have student loans in your 50s, you have to come to a harsh reality that you've been told wrong. Yes, you've been told wrong. No outside entity told you, just slaves. You just been listening to slaves. Slaves telling you to invest before paying off your student loans. If you've ever had any financial advisor tell you that it's better to invest before paying off your student loans, that's mathematically impossible. And then I need you to question yourself. How come this person doesn't know? Because it doesn't matter because they're slaves. That's only a slave would tell you that. Also, it's just business. It's just business. If you don't believe in mathematics, if they tell you something that's not mathematically true, that's on you. The interest rates between the two doesn't matter. You don't have any money to invest in anything if you have student loans. It doesn't matter what interest rate. You can't earn interest with negative dollars. That's impossible. If you have a mortgage, you can't invest in retirement if you have a mortgage. That's impossible. You can't do that. What's up, Gabriel? Al says, you need to buy a house, LJ. Interest rates will. Right. They say that every time. They say that every time. Interest rates will never be this low again. That's bait on the hooks for you slaves. They're trying to get some of that PPP money. I be trying to help most of you guys, man. This channel is here to help. It's unlike any other channel on YouTube, unlike any other channel. If you're walking around here believing that you need good credit to get anything, that's a program. You do know the banks, you do know the credit bureaus are private entities. Those are private businesses. Did you know that? Did you know that? Those are private. Equifax, those are private. That's weird. What do private businesses do? Like Amazon, they make money. So if you believe you need good credit to get anything in life, you're part of the program. You are the credit. Credit couldn't exist if you didn't believe in it. It's just a belief. If credit is like a cryptocurrency, you can't touch credit. What color is credit? Have you ever put credit in your pocket? Can you fold it? What color is it? What does it smell like? It doesn't exist, slaves. It don't exist. Like when you get you know how businesses with cell phones, hey, trade in your phone and we'll give you a $500 credit. Whatever that translates into your brain, if you believe if they give you $500 credit and you think it's $500 cash, that is on you, slave. Well, I tell you, man, they be doing slaves so dirty. And I want you guys to understand that are new to the channel. SMD is more than just personal finances. It will change your entire life. Your whole life will change. Your dating life will change. Savings minus debt. Dating minus debt. Once you own yourself, that's the main purpose of SMD, is to help you own you. Once you own you, you will never date people that don't own themselves. You will never date them. If you do what it takes to pay off your student loans, what's up, Alex? If you do what it takes to pay off your student loans, you will never date a person that doesn't believe in themselves that they can pay off their own. Why would you date a person like that doesn't believe in themselves, aka own themselves? You won't date slaves. Fellas, this type of information is gonna save you a lot of time in child support court. Same goes for women too. You won't have a child by a slave. That will never happen. Your self-confidence will go through the roof because your dating pool will shrink down to this. It'll be this size. When you hear about high value people, according to who? High value to who? Who? The person talking on the mic? How do you know if the person talking on the mic's not a slave? How do you know that maybe they got a mortgage? Maybe they got a subprime mortgage at the house they were living in. You don't know that. Maybe everything they're wearing, they used it, they bought it with a credit card. You have no idea the life that they're living. Not a clue. You will never take financial advice from a slave ever. Relationship advice, anything to do with you. If you find out they're a slave, you will never take any type of advice from them ever. I know, right? Slaves be saying that. They be saying that out loud too. Oh, I'm just seeing what they're going to do. See if they're going to forgive these loans. That'd be stupid for me to pay them off if they're going to forgive them. That's exactly what they want you to think, slave. They're never going to forgive student loans ever. That's never going to happen. They will never release that many slaves. They will never do that. I want you young men to understand something. I know society will make you feel like you should be out there just fucking all kind of women. That's none of that is true. You don't have to do any of that. When you own yourself, that means you own the time in your life. Once you own the time in your life, you will never put yourself at that much risk. You will never do that. Here, this is what I'll tell you. So this will help you understand if you value the time in your life or not. This should tell you AIDS is out there. AIDS could possibly kill you. AIDS could end the time in your life. You know how many people just say, fuck it. I'm just gonna have sex without a condom because they don't care about the time in their life. Else you wouldn't do that. Once you own yourself, that will never happen. Because I'm not saying not have sex. You want to do that, great, but you will always use protection. Always. You don't care if somebody else, oh, I'm allergic to it. Well, I'm allergic to having sex. Somebody sees you in a car, or somebody sees you dressed a certain way and you're not dressed a certain way, the way society, you're going to say, who's talking about me, a slave? Because only slaves talk about other slaves. When you own the time of your life, you don't have time to be talking about other people. Talking about other people makes that's the biggest time waster ever. Talking about people outside of yourself is a waste of time. It makes absolutely no sense. Yet it's the most popular thing on YouTube, on social media, talking about other people. It makes absolutely no sense, especially if they're people with student loans, car payments, credit card. It doesn't matter what slaves talk about. Exactly, Gabriel. Always question everything. Remember the scene in Dumb and Dumber when they took the money and replaced it with IOUs? I remember that. Yeah. Slave was like, look at these idiots, then turn around and do the same thing with the bank. Sure do. They do. I remember that. Replace them all with IOUs. That shit was so funny. They take, with unconscious slaves, you guys really don't understand what they do. They take the things that you do unconsciously and then they put them in movies because the shit is true, but you guys don't realize it's true because you're in debt. You don't even realize that you guys don't, like when you go to title loan places, because I shared this skit by Country Wayne, him walking in talking. Now he's going to get a title loan, and the shit was funny. It was hilarious, right? But what you don't realize is that if it wasn't true, title loan places wouldn't exist. Like here, let me give an example. If you knew what I knew, if the majority knew what I knew, title loan places wouldn't exist because they couldn't exist. Because I would never walk in and get if you get a title loan, you are in serious financial trouble. Serious financial trouble. That was hilarious. Oh man, that skit was, Country Wayne is putting in work. I went and saw him live one time, but that man right there is putting in work. That skit was hilarious. Oh my God, that skit was hilarious. It's on Instagram. Let me see. Let me go to my community and see if I'm gonna post it in here. So you guys need to watch this skit. It is hilarious, man. Let me see where it's at. Instagram. Oh, here we go. Oops. Oh man, come on. 1 second here. Oh, I don't even know if it let me copy it. Crap. 1 second. Let me get this here. It's not. Go into community and click on it because it's not letting me do it because I don't have Instagram on my computer. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Vince says leads to the destruction of life and family. Those in debt know they have a problem, but they are conditioned to think that buying stuff equals happy. And you know what, Vincent? I understand. Let me make sure everybody's clear. I understand why slaves must think that way. I don't want it to change. Just because I'm sharing this information with you, the majority must believe this stuff. They must believe it, because without people paying 30% interest, I couldn't be free. So can you imagine some people are allergic to being financially free, but they are non-allergic to being a slave in their life because they don't know that they're slaves. If you don't know how much debt you're in, you are unconscious. You are an unconscious slave. But if you want the blueprint to get out, man, right there, SavingsMinusDebt.com. I'll change your life. Should I buy a Gucci belt or a brand new iPhone? Exactly. Frugal people are laughed at in our society. You know what it is, retired? I don't like it when when you get out of debt, you'll hear words like frugal, minimize, blah blah blah. Those words are like daylight. You know how daylight gonna get on vampires? When you use words like that, it burns slaves. Oh, frugal, minimize. But what they don't understand is when you get out of debt, you don't really use word. I don't use word. I don't think I'm frugal. I don't think my life is minimized. It's not. What's up, Sal? What's going on? You don't use words like that because life is not like that. You just think in order to get debt free, okay, cool, minimize, be frugal, because if you do that during the process as you're getting out of debt, it will help you get out of debt faster because you're minimizing your life. But once you get out of debt, you really don't have to be that way anymore because you live very different than millions of people. You guys realize how you guys realize how it is if you don't own yourself? When you own yourself, your world is totally different. You see me. You see the way I speak. You see the way I talk. I'm not scared of anything or anybody, especially when there's finance games. When it comes to the finance game, personal finances, I'm a monster. I don't care what slaves think. It doesn't matter. If they think they can invest with student loans, I guess they just think they can invest. If you think you're a homeowner and your student loan debt is older than your mortgage, whatever. You know what I say? That's important. The majority must believe that they can invest in cryptocurrency while having a mortgage. You can't do that. You can't invest in cryptocurrency while having a mortgage. That's impossible. It's sure. Same here. Right, Gabriel. This is important. You see what Gabriel's saying right here? We can see you slaves coming a mile away. You guys don't even know it. You don't even know it. Do you get that? Do you realize if you're making a car payment, that's the worst possible thing you could do in your financial life is making car payments? Did you know that? Yet slaves walk around every day thinking they got a great deal on a car. You bought it in cash? Oh no, man, but so and so down at so and so dealership hooked me up. No, they hooked you up with debt. And you're telling everybody, you're telling all your friends and family on your social media to go see this dude so they can get hooked up with debt too. You slaves don't know you're saying that. Shout out to Antoine. Long time no see, sir. 1999 super chat. Man, you must be out there getting that house paid off because you've been down in the bunkers quiet. You trying to be a homeowner. Quit ASAP. Commendable Kid says, if you don't own yourself, someone else does. Sure does. and you have to talk like you live in a and you have to talk like you live in a library. Sure do. That's why, hey, that's why I came up with this channel, because I don't, when I'm out in public, talk like in the library. I call that not pulling down my alien mask in public. I don't go out in public telling everybody, hey, that's not, you're not a homeowner if you have a mortgage. I don't do that. Because basically what you're saying is, hey, you don't believe in math. I'm not saying any of that. Thank you, sir. But you're right, commendable Key. K, excuse me, not Key, K, commendable K. If you don't own yourself, someone else does. And if you've never heard that, if you don't know what commendable K says or is saying, log into your Credit Karma and take a look at all the people that own you. That's a list of people. That's your credit report. That's an owner's ledger. It's nothing. Your credit report's nothing to brag about. I want you guys. Only slaves do that. It doesn't, because it doesn't mean anything. Your credit report is It's an owner's ledger. All of those people in there own you. They all own a piece of you. You are the stock. You. They reward you with points, a credit score for staying in debt. That's what, and then you slaves walk around bragging about a score that's rewarded to you by your owners. You got to stop doing that, slave. You guys better stop doing that. If you're a person going around bragging about your credit score, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're doing. You don't. If you're a person going around bragging about your credit score, but you don't know how much debt you're in, people like me are walking around listening to you. They're not going to say anything to you because you're unconscious, because only an unconscious slave will brag about something that's not true. I mean, you guys be working hard they just set this goal. The bank say, hey man, if you reach 800, you are, hey Bob, what do you make up? I don't know, make up some shit. You are superior. What else? Say they're good at finances. Hey, if you have an 800 credit score, you're good at finance. Anything else, Bob? I don't know. Say you're smart. Okay, and you're smart too financially, and you guys just believe it. They hooked you up with debt and chains. Sure do. No, hey, commendable. They allow them to put the chains on themselves. They don't even put the chains on you. They just drop them on the ground and say, here, you put them on, slave. Put them here. I don't want to touch those slaves. I don't want to touch those chains. Here, they put them on the end of a rod and just drop them on the ground. You can hear all the clinkety clack on the chain. They say, here, put those on. I don't want to touch them. COVID. LJ look at people in social media thinking they're happy during this time. Oh yeah, that's so fake. So fake. Don't let social media fool you guys, okay? Poindexter says, check out my job talking about getting her another bigger house. Found out they only have $80K in equity of a house, which is not theirs, on a that's worth $250,000, still mortgage and selling. She wants to have her name on the new house. See, slaves, they just get themselves deeper and deeper. It doesn't matter how much money you give a slave. They just go deeper in debt. I know a very long-term slave who wants to take out oh God. Okay, let me finish reading this. Let me finish reading it. Okay, take out a second mortgage, and I don't argue. I just say I wouldn't do that. No explanation, arguing or educating anyone. Don't do. Yeah, exactly. You learn your lesson, don't you, Vincent? You know what I say when somebody gets a house? Congratulations. Can I come over and see it? Cool. I just recently did that. I just go, I don't say a word. It was a beautiful house. Beautiful house. But you know, the only thing I could see, I know exactly what type of mortgage you got. I know exactly what type of mortgage you got. The all these bedrooms that it's just two of you. You guys got a 5-bedroom house. It's just two of you. TV, big screen TV in every single room. Bed, nice bedroom set inside of the spare bedrooms. I'm like, Ooh, they got you. They got you. You're right. They do it to themselves. Laura says the world feels so much more accessible and free when you're debt free. Oh yeah, it's most definitely. Did I say that right? Am I thinking wrong? Because I know that's not. Hope I'm saying that right. Huh. The world is different. It's most definitely different. It's a whole different. How can I explain it? You can no longer. Okay, say like when you're debt free and you're driving down the road, you will pay attention to all of the billboards. You'll pay attention to the ads on your social media. If you listen to the radio or some streaming app, all the commercials, they're selling you stuff 24 hours a day. Selling you stuff never ever stops. That's why when people come across this channel and they get this information from me, the first thing they say is, man, this dude is dropping all these gems and he's not even trying to sell us anything. Slaves don't know why they're saying that. They don't know why they're saying that. They're saying it because they're always constantly bombarded with somebody trying to sell them something. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I'm selling freedom. But I leave it up to you. First, I prove it to you. First, I show you that you can trust me. I show it to you with mathematics. If you choose not to believe mathematics, I'm not here to convince you to believe me because I know I'm right. I don't need you to believe me. The truth is mathematics. I will SMD me. I will change your life. Commendable Key says, check the Cash App. Slaves will hear this and blame us for not changing the system, a system that needs people to enslave themselves. All these companies are getting into these, I call them payday advance things when they get you a check 2 days before. That's called advance. They ain't doing that for free. And if you're signed up for one of these, yeah, I kind of figured that, Lord. If you signed up for one of these secured debit cards, you're in financial trouble, and they're taking advantage of you for not trusting mathematics. That's what they're doing. Thank you, Nicer. And you're right about that. Time once you're debt free, you no longer live by the clock. If you're a person that's always looking to see what time it is, hey, what time is it? What time is it? You know why you're doing that? Because the clock owns you. If you're at work and you're always looking to see what time is it, so you getting closer to get off, you know why you're looking at the clock? Because the clock owns you. The reason why you're looking at the clock, you're waiting for the clock to give you permission to leave work. The clock owns you. The clock says you can't leave yet. It ain't 5 o'clock yet. I will let you know. This is the clock. I will let you know when you can leave work because I control you. You have to do what I say. I don't care where you look at me. I don't care if you look at me on the wall at work. I don't care if you look at me on your phone or on your wrist. I don't care. But you still have to do what I say because I'm everywhere. That's the clock. That's the clock talking to you. Single women judge me because I rent an apartment. I don't care because I'm free. I wouldn't even, hey, if I come across a woman and she's judging me for if I rent, we won't be talking anymore. I don't care what you think, slave. especially a woman if she's paying a mortgage. I don't care what you think. Gabriel says it's kind of crazy how they sell you 24/7 forever, no matter where you at. No, it never stops. It never stops. That's the economy. Without slaves, if you're you tired of being a slave, you tired of being a unconscious consumer. Are you tired of believing that you're getting ahead because you got a bigger mortgage and a bigger car payment? And you think you're getting ahead? You got to stop. If you understand this information and you in your 20s, this could change your life forever. Change your life completely forever. Here's my phone. If you guys cashed at me, I'm sorry because my phone is not in front of me and I don't know where I put it. So I'm sorry about that. And I will respond once I get my phone. But anyway, what's up, Andre? If there's any questions, all right, we're about an hour and 16 minutes in. Give you guys about 10 minutes. 1 second. Let me check something real. Nope, I'm wrong. It's time. Time for me to get off. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. They're like puppets, LJ, buying fast food, clothes, cars. Yeah, because that's what they're told to do on TV. If you ever watch commercials, this is what they tell you to do. Consume, eat, and scare you with healthcare. This is all they do. This is the repetitive cycle. You guys don't know this. Eat, spend, consume, and scare you about healthcare. They come up with all these drugs. You don't even know the names of them. And then during the commercial, they say it can kill you. Your eyes can bleed. Your leg will fall off. But the side effects are minor. This will help you fix this. And then they just keep scaring you. Fear, eat, consume. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Again, right there, SavingsMinusDebt.com at the bottom of the screen. If you want a consultation, you don't have to. You can either have me, you can either call me and ask me some questions, or you can have me make a plan for you. Either one doesn't matter who you are. I can make a plan for you. Not a big deal. And not just say, here's the plan, and you just do what I say. You're going to see mathematically what I'm saying. You're going to be like, oh, okay, that's the path to freedom. Yes, that's the path to freedom. How much does it cost to own yourself? Add up your savings, add up your debt. Savings minus debt equals your cost. AT&T tried to convince me to get financing for $1,000 cell phone and rejected me using a debit card. Wow. I told them the plantation is for someone else and paid cash for my new cell phone online. Exactly, man. Exactly. Thank you, everybody. Until next time. All right. I did a video this morning. Yeah, this morning for the members only. I hope you guys were able to catch that. If you didn't see that, go check it out. It was a good one. All right. Until next time. See you later.